For centuries, whispers of divine beings known as the Anunnaki have echoed through time. Gods, rulers, or perhaps something far more enigmatic. But what if the truth about them has been carefully hidden? What if their bloodline still endures, veiled by myth and erased from memory? This is not just another story of ancient gods. It is the forbidden family tree, a divine lineage that begins with Anu and branches into powerful figures. Their descendants shaped humanity, ignited celestial conflicts, and left cryptic clues in shattered tablets and forgotten ruins. But why was this tree buried in silence? Who feared its revelation? Today, we journey into the forgotten past to unearth the hidden bloodline of the Anunnaki. What you are about to discover might not only rewrite history, but uncover a truth humanity was never meant to discover. Let's get started. In the beginning, before kings wore crowns and cities rose from the dust, there was Anu, the supreme father of the sky. He was the highest of the gods, the silent ruler of the heavens, whose presence stretched across time and stars itself. Anu was not merely a god of the sky, he was the sky. His name echoed through the earliest clay tablets of Sumer, etched with reverence and fear. From his divine essence flowed all cosmic order, all authority, and all creation. As the first and most ancient of the Anunnaki, Anu stood at the origin of the divine bloodline. From him descended two sons who would shape the fate of gods and men, Enlil, the forceful god of wind and command, and Enki, the wise keeper of knowledge in the deep. These were not just sons, they were extensions of Anu's will, scattered across the heavens and the earth. Anu rarely descended to the mortal plane, yet his presence was eternal, watching, judging, maintaining balance. He was the source, the beginning. The unseen architect of the Anunnaki legacy. In every myth, in every secret lineage, it all begins with Anu. In the earliest age of gods, when the heavens and earth were still young, Enlil emerged from the breath of Anu, the Sky Father. Born of divine essence, Enlil was not merely a god. He was force incarnate, the unseen wind that shaped mountains, scattered storms, and carried the voices of the gods across the cosmos. As the Lord of Wind and Destiny, Enlil held the tablets of destiny, sacred objects said to contain the fate of gods and mortals alike. His word shaped law, his command birthed kings, and his anger could wipe cities from existence. Ruling from the Eker, his great temple in Nippur, he was both feared and revered as the ultimate authority in the pantheon. Enlil divided heaven and earth, setting the balance between chaos and order. He appointed roles to the gods, boundaries to humanity, and seasons to the land. Though stern and often distant, his decisions maintained the structure of the world. To defy Enlil was to defy destiny itself. In the divine family tree of the Anunnaki, Enlil stands as a central pillar of power, judge, kingmaker, and guardian of fate. Through him, the will of the heavens found its voice and its consequences. From the primeval depths where the fresh waters of the Apsu flow, Enki arose, wise, ancient, and ever watchful. Brother to Enlil and son of Anu, Enki was the keeper of secrets, the master of knowledge, and the divine architect of life itself. Where Enlil ruled with command, Enki guided with wisdom and subtle influence. He dwelled in the great house of Eridu, the first city, where the waters of creation whispered their truths to him. Enki's domain was not the sky nor the earth, but the unseen deep, the source of all life and sacred mystery. He shaped humans from clay, gifting them intellect, survival, and language. He brought order from chaos, healing from suffering, and clever solutions where brute force failed. Myths tell of his cunning role in saving humanity from destruction, defying even the divine decrees when compassion demanded it. While others wielded power, Enki wielded understanding. He was a protector of humanity and the unseen force guiding many divine happenings. In the Anunnaki family tree, Enki stands as the heart of wisdom, creation, and mercy. Through water, thought, and magic, his legacy flows endlessly, beneath the surface, ever present, ever powerful. From the fertile soil of ancient Sumer rose Ninhursag, also known as Ki, the revered Mother Earth and the life-bringer of the gods. As the divine consort of Anu, the Sky Father, she stood at the foundation of the Anunnaki family tree. Together, they united heaven and earth, giving birth to some of the most powerful and influential deities in Mesopotamian mythology, including Enlil, the god of wind and destiny. Ninhursag was more than a goddess, she was the living embodiment of the land, its mountains, its womb, and its nurturing essence. Her name echoed through temples and prayers, as she was called upon for fertility, healing, and protection of life. She was a creator of gods and mortals alike, shaping humanity with her sacred hands alongside Enki, the god of wisdom. Known also as the Lady of the Sacred Mountain, she brought harmony between divine realms and the mortal world. She healed the sick, blessed rulers, and sustained the cycle of birth and growth. In the Anunnaki genealogy, Ninhursag's role was not just maternal but foundational. She connected the divine essence of the heavens with the enduring life of the earth. Through her, creation thrived, and the gods themselves were made whole. From the radiant path of the eastern horizon rose Utu, known also as Shamash, the god of the sun and divine justice. Born of the moon god Nanna and the sky goddess Nergal, Utu was the grandson of Enlil and great-grandson of Anu, placing him firmly within the powerful bloodline of the Anunnaki. Utu crossed the sky each day in his blazing chariot, illuminating the world and exposing all that was hidden. His light was not merely warmth, it was truth. As the divine judge, Utu saw everything from above, watching the deeds of gods and mortals alike. In a world where shadows concealed lies and corruption, his light brought order, fairness, and accountability. He ruled from the city of Larsa, where his temple stood as a beacon of law and righteousness. Utu upheld contracts, punished injustice, and protected the innocent. His presence in myths often reflects mercy tempered by clarity and moral strength. As part of the Anunnaki family tree, Utu represents the balance between divine power and moral duty. While others governed through might or wisdom, Utu ruled through integrity and justice. In every dawn and every courtroom of ancient Sumer, his legacy burned brightly, unyielding, eternal, and just. In the quiet glow of the night sky, where silver light washes over the world, dwells Nanna, also known as Sin, the ancient Sumerian god of the moon. As the son of Enlil, the powerful god of wind and destiny, and Enlil, the goddess of air, Nanna holds a sacred place within the Anunnaki family tree. His celestial journey across the heavens marks the rhythm of time, guiding calendars, tides, and the fates of both gods and mortals. Nanna rode his radiant boat across the night, casting soft light over cities and deserts alike. From his great temple in Ur, he watched over the people with calm wisdom, blessing them with dreams, visions, and divine insight. As a symbol of balance and order, he brought peace where chaos threatened and marked the passage of life through his monthly cycles. Father of Utu, the sun god, and Inanna, goddess of love and war, Nanna's divine lineage extended through some of the most influential deities in Mesopotamian mythology. Though not as fierce as other gods, his presence was constant, dependable, and revered. In the Anunnaki genealogy, Nanna represents reflection, time, and mystery. He is the silent guardian of the night, and the light in darkness that never fades. Radiant and formidable, Inanna, later known as Ishtar, was the Sumerian goddess of love, war, and divine power. Born of Nanna, the moon god, and Nergal, the goddess of reeds, Inanna belonged to a mighty lineage. She was the sister of Utu, the sun god, and granddaughter of Enlil and Anu, placing her firmly within the celestial hierarchy of the Anunnaki. Inanna embodied duality, the bringer of passion and destruction, of fertility and fury. From her grand temple in Uruk, she ruled with a charisma that enthralled gods and mortals alike. Adorned with celestial symbols and wrapped in mystery, Inanna was a force that moved freely between realms, sky, earth, and even the underworld. Her most famous tale, the descent into the underworld, saw her confront her sister Ereshkigal, the queen of the dead. Stripped of her powers, Inanna faced death itself, only to rise again, transformed and more powerful than before. It was a testament to her resilience, ambition, and divinity. In the Anunnaki family tree, Inanna is not just a descendant, she is a symbol of divine evolution. Through her, the sacred feminine claimed its place among the gods, both as a lover and a warrior, forever shaping myth and destiny. Emerging from the scorching winds of ruin and the shadowy stillness of the underworld, came Nergal, the formidable deity of pestilence and mortality. He was a deity feared by mortals and respected by gods, known for his unrelenting wrath and devastating power. Nergal was a descendant of Enlil, born of divine lineage, placing him firmly within the Anunnaki bloodline. In some traditions, he was considered a consort to Ereshkigal, queen of the underworld, ruling alongside her over the realm of the dead. Unlike the distant wisdom of Enki or the commanding force of Enlil, Nergal embodied the raw and destructive aspects of divine power. He used disease as both a tool of power and a sign of judgment, and his presence was usually followed by destruction and death. Yet Nergal was not merely a destroyer, he was also a necessary force of balance. Where there is life, there must also be death, and Nergal ensured the cosmic cycle remained intact. In myths, he descended into the underworld not as a prisoner but as a conqueror, eventually taking his place as its king. His rule was one of severity but also of justice. Within the Anunnaki family tree, Nergal stands as the dark mirror of divine order, feared, powerful, and essential. Rising from the heart of Babylon, Marduk became the hero god who would forever change the balance of divine power. Born of Enki, the god of wisdom and water, Marduk inherited intellect, creativity, and the gift of strategy. Though younger than many of the elder gods, his destiny was extraordinary. As chaos threatened to consume the world in the form of Tiamat, the primordial dragon of saltwater, the gods turned to Marduk for salvation. Marduk accepted the challenge, but under one condition: if he succeeded, he would claim supreme authority among the gods. With unmatched might and divine cunning, he slew Tiamat, splitting her body to form the heavens and the earth. This act of cosmic creation crowned Marduk as king of the gods and marked the beginning of a new divine order. From then on, Marduk reigned from Babylon, becoming the protector of the city and the center of Mesopotamian worship. He took the place once held by Enlil, making him both a usurper and a savior. In the Anunnaki family tree, Marduk stands as a transformative figure, a second-generation god who rose beyond his origins to command the heavens, rewrite destiny, and become the embodiment of divine kingship and victory. In the deepest realm of the Mesopotamian underworld, beyond light and time, rules Ereshkigal, the sovereign of the underworld. As the sister of Inanna and daughter of the primordial gods Anu and Ki, she holds a powerful yet somber position in the Anunnaki family tree. While her siblings roamed the heavens and the earth, Ereshkigal claimed the silent domain of the dead, reigning over Kor, the Sumerian land of shadows. Ereshkigal is not a goddess of evil, but of inevitability. She governs death, judgment, and the unchangeable laws of the afterlife. Her palace, the darkened stone-walled Ereshkigal, is the final destination for all souls. Once someone enters her domain, they cannot return unless she permits it. Unlike her radiant sister Inanna, Ereshkigal's power is quiet, cold, and absolute. Myths tell of her confrontation with Inanna when the goddess of love dared to descend into the underworld. Ereshkigal's reaction was swift and uncompromising, showing her strength as a ruler whom even the gods feared. In the divine genealogy of the Anunnaki, Ereshkigal represents the balance of existence, the necessary end that follows all beginnings. She is both feared and respected, a sovereign force beyond life itself.